Fur, join, bell, fur, fur.
We didn't copyright strikes.
Shit!
Hi, everybody.
Howdy.
Are you drinking whiskey tonight?
Yeah, so I tell my friends that like the whole point of not my podcast, of our podcast, but the whole point in my eyes of the podcast is to talk shit about stuff that we know things about.
Yeah.
And part of what I say in that sentence is we get drunk and talk shit about things that we know things about. And I noticed in our 10 episode run, we've never been drunk. So
We accidentally got high that first
the
one.
first episode I was high as a kite.
And then I was like, I'm not going to smoke. And I got wildly high.
But now we have like good sound shit. We sort of not know what we're doing, but we figured out what we like to talk about.
We know the format now.
Yeah, and we've never been drunk. So what I did was I went to dinner, all right? And I had 2 drinks. One of them had ghost pepper in it.
How was that?
It was delicious, but also very spicy. And it was weird because like I would drink it. It was called a Killer Bee's Knees. And if you don't know what a bee's knees is, it's a gin-based drink with lavender and honey in it. It's delicious.
That sounds amazing.
They're so good. This one was called a Killer Bee's Knees because it also had ghost pepper liqueur. If you've never had that, don't.
I had it once.
I took a sip, and my mouth went, why? And I was like, but it's good. And I drank the whole thing, and then I got a strawberry rhubarb rye drink, and I was like, tight. Also, I haven't been drinking for a while, so they hit hard. And then I got home, and I was like, fuck it. My dad got me a nice bottle of whiskey for Christmas. He got me crystal glasses. He got me some nice ice. Figure why not? Plus, I have a bit to talk about. And also, I realized when I say talk shit, we've really done a lot of just talking about movies and not stories about shit.
Yeah. I think the last one we talked about was Army Hammer Cannibal Hour. Like that was.
I have 2 stories about myself for this episode, and then a couple things that have me hype, plus movie news. I'm gonna kill the neighbor's dogs. I hate the neighbor's dogs.
They haven't been out at all today.
Like Allie's taking a shower. I'm less mad about that than the dogs barking.
Yeah.
Like I have not a handful. I have a solid chunk of things I want to talk about, but also just I realize, I figure why not have fun with it.
Yeah. I get you.
Because I don't know. I'm a fun guy.
See, my issue is I can't drink while talking on this podcast because I have this thing. I want to get one and cut a hole in it.
Get a straw? I was going to say, yeah, get a straw.
And I just got a new bottle of absinthe from
Rachel's
parents.
Just drinking absinthe.
Right out of the bottle.
I'm a sea color.
It's so good.
Oh, I'm sure.
For anybody that doesn't know what absinthe is, it's so good that people are like, we should make it illegal because they said that it makes you hallucinate. It doesn't, but it gets you pretty close to it.
It gets you fucked up.
It gets you so fucked up, and you melt a sugar cube with it, and the water gets the alcohol gets all cloudy, and it tastes like herbs. It's like the tastiest alcohol that you can drink straight, I'd say, in my opinion. But Jake's drinking.
Fuck it. I forgot to do what I normally do and ask you what you want to talk about, but I think there's one thing that we both want to talk about for sure, and that's WandaVision. There's a lot to talk about with WandaVision because we haven't been talking about it weekly.
Yeah, no, we haven't. We talked about it like once very briefly.
We mentioned it, but before we get into what we thought about the series as a whole and the finale, or not the finale, before we get before we get into what you thought about the finale, how'd you like the series as a whole? And how'd you like what they did with Quicksilver? How'd you like what they did with the episode dealing specifically with Wanda and grief?
Okay.
How'd you like the reveal of Catherine Hahn as Agatha Hart, whatever the fuck? Harkness.
Yeah.
And how'd you like what they did with, what's her name? Sword lady.
Oh.
Black lady who's now bulletproof.
It's Maggie, right?
No.
I'm
going to Google it.
We've had weeks. We had the same problem.
No, and I know who you're talking because it's
Lieutenant Trouble.
Darcy. No, Darcy's Kat Dennings.
Darcy.
Monica Rambeau. What'd you think of Monica
Rambeau
becoming her superhero?
Okay.
So because she is in the comics, she is a superhero.
So, first one, what I think of the series overall.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting because the first 2 episodes, I was like, I'm gonna keep watching, but I'm like kind of weirded out. I think it's really interesting because they were at the parts where it broke the format of 50s, 60s television.
Yeah.
And was like, something weird's going on. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm totally into that. So I stayed around for it. And then there were just multiple moments in the show where Raquel and I were watching. I'd be like, oh shit, that's dope. I'm really pumped about this. It's really cool. I thought it was done really well. I thought the writing was just fantastic. I thought there were parts that were really funny. And then it like slowly led into like what it's all about. Grief. Also the antagonist being
Wanda.
like Wanda, but not Wanda, and not Agatha Harkness either, but that douchebag running sword.
Oh no, he wasn't. So that's something. So online, a lot of people have been like, first of all, before the last, like, I'll say 2 episodes came out, it was like, who's the big bad guy? And I not figured out, but I figured around the 4th episode, because it was a 9-episode series. Around the 4th episode, there wasn't a big bad guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's not going to be one. And then I was like,
really.
it's going to be Wanda.
It's mostly just this show is revolving around the problem of Wanda's magic is out of control.
Yeah, and I talked about it with a buddy of mine at my old job. We both agreed Wanda, although not the bad guy in terms of like she's not the antagonist, she's not knowingly doing bad things. In terms of the story, she's the bad guy.
Yeah.
She's not doing good shit. She has a whole town under control.
Yeah, hostage.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
That's not a good guy. Like,
and it's bad because her intention, when I think of like bad guys, I think of intention.
Yeah.
So her intention wasn't bad, but she was so out of control. The damage she was doing was like far worse.
Terrible.
Than anything. Like, I'm glad you're working this out, but don't drag an entire town underneath a bus.
Yeah, like
in order for you to get through your grief counseling.
Oh my god.
And
yeah.
But I do think it was really cool how they used her magic to like personify the grief and the examples of grief.
Which brings me into what do you think of the second to last episode?
Second to last episode?
Which is the one where it showed all the flashbacks, Wanda, which by the way, we forgot to put a spoiler warning. We're not
I'm going to put a spoiler warning.
We're going to talk about the specific parts of the series. I'm not going to be like, oh, the series was good. I like this and this.
You know,
whatever.
I've been waiting too long to talk about this.
The 8th episode was the one where Agatha takes Wanda back to when her parents died.
When she got her powers.
Mm-hmm. And when Vision helped her out and then her brother died.
Yeah. So going back to her parents dying, first off, we'd never seen her parents. We knew that they died, but we never like saw it or heard anything about it. I thought the way they died and that whole scene, first of all, that whole scene explains this is why she's reacting the way she is. Here are all these old movies and all these old shows, and it's like, okay, cool. That's a cool origin for this. And then I like, because Disney likes to like sugarcoat some things. They didn't sugarcoat their death at all.
Well,
Boom,
no, and
silent.
because, and it's, so yes, and it's, I think it's because, so we've heard how the parents died, because that's why in Age of Ultron they are
riot.
fighting Tony Stark. But I think it was good of them to not sugarcoat it, because we know that they die because a Tony Stark missile blew up the building.
Yeah, one missile hit the building, then the other just like crushed
so
their apartment.
If you're going to show me them dying, but I'm not going to see the missile, I'm not going to see the, like, not the explosion, but I'm not going to see how they die.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you talk about it? Why would you set it up? And then why would you show me that not happening?
Yeah.
So I do like that they didn't sugarcoat it. Like I did like that part, because I was watching it with Allie and I was like, oh, her parents are about to die. And then as soon as I said it, the fucking window blew up and I was like, oh,
yeah, both of them fly forward.
They're fucking dead.
And it's that moment of trauma where it's like, there's a missile in front of us and we're like 6 and we don't know what to do. And she's like, yeah, we sat there for days. And I thought that was a great use of, reality
Yeah.
in a Disney show. And I've also noticed this kind of, not really a trend, but like I watched Iron Man because Raquel and I are watching like all the movies. I watched the first Iron Man, which like when Tony gets shards in his chest, blood,
Yeah.
like people are dying, everything, and then it like the violence like curves down when it starts to get bigger. Like
Yeah.
the whole
Because they could
company.
market it to kids and
Yeah.
stuff.
But now it's like curving back up to being like a little more real and violent.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking it because it's bringing that reality back in. After Endgame was like, yo, people are going through trauma, shit's getting real again, and I really like that they incorporated that into the show.
Yeah.
Then she walked through the door and to when she got her powers. I thought that was really fucking cool. I thought it was. I didn't make a ton of sense.
So,
But I was like, okay, that's cool. And also, it implies the fact that people just have magic around the world, but a lot of them just like lose it because they don't practice with it.
I would say lose it or are aware of the fact that like you can't just use it.
Yeah.
I liked when it showed her not getting her powers, but becoming aware of them without knowing that she had them.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that the time stone became the mind stone
What do you mean?
when they were using the fucking Loki staff time stone thing.
That was
And
always the Mind Stone, I thought.
No, it was fucking.
The Time Stone is Doctor Strange's
Oh no,
stone.
no. Fucking the blue. How about that? I'll use color. The blue stone
Oh,
became
yeah.
yellow.
Okay, yeah.
I liked that because whatever that with a space stone, whatever the fuck, I'm gonna Google it.
Space Stone. It's the Space Stone, yeah. The Tesseract.
Yeah, that the fucking tesseract became the mind stone because the mind stone is what was in Vision.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved that. Yeah, the space stone became the mind stone. I loved that because it showed her connection to the mind stone and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't like something that happened. It was like destiny. Like she had this experience with the space stone that flat out showed her while she was getting her powers. One, it showed the silhouette of her as Scarlet Witch. Two, it became the Mind Stone. Like, that's dope as fuck.
So, the stone on Loki's staff was never the Space Stone.
What was it?
It was housing the Mind Stone. It was never.
Oh
the
shit,
stone.
that's right, because
Yeah.
they used it to create Ultron.
Yeah.
Or not Ultron, they used it to create Vision.
Yeah. But I do get what you're getting
But you get
at.
what I'm saying? Like they used the fucking visual, whatever. It looked
Yeah.
cool and I liked it.
I like the fact that you say that her connection with Vision is more than just like, oh, she's like just in love with Vision.
Yeah, like
Vision's
shit didn't just
literally-
happen.
She's like, she has a part of what Vision is made of in her.
Part of her. Like,
yeah, it's a part of her.
whether she likes it or not.
And I thought that was really cool in incorporating her recreating Vision is literally that piece of the Mind Stone.
That part I thought was cool.
That was cool as
So
shit.
when the fucking episode ended and it was like the aftermath of Infinity War and she was just lost, Vision's dead. She doesn't know what to do. She goes into like hiding and then she just in her grief just creates Vision. I thought that was really cool for two reasons. One, this is the second to last episode of the series and everyone thought that she had stolen Vision from the military base. She hadn't. She didn't.
She
She wasn't able to do it. So then she just fucking in her grief creates a manifestation of him through her grief.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I thought the whole 8th episode as a whole was great for just showing a character's grief.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. And I like because for a long time we were like, she's the bad guy. And even though she's never like not totally the bad guy, with her intention changing later where she didn't even think about taking Vision. She
Yeah.
just went, I don't feel you anymore. This is bad, horrible for me. I'm going to move on. And she starts to move on and then her powers take over. And that was a moment of, holy shit, we've been looking at this the wrong way. They did a great job of misdirecting us
Yeah.
because we don't know what's happening.
Because
at all.
then they sort of show that although not the villain or the hero, she's dangerous.
Mhm.
Like her character is dangerous. And I think, so as a whole, I thought the series was really good.
Yeah.
I thought it played out like a Marvel movie. So like, if you don't like Marvel movies, you're not going to like it.
Yeah. There was also like, what I liked about the show is that there wasn't a lot of like filler episodes. Every
Yeah.
episode played a purpose, which I thought was great.
Something that was pointed out to me though, that I then realized, yeah, that would annoy me too. every episode starts with the long Marvel fucking intro thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Does,
which it didn't even occur to me. But then I realized, like, yeah, wait, why did we start every episode with that? Like, the first episode, cool. Every other episode, just do a little flash of Marvel into it. But as far as complaints for the series,
like the content as a whole,
if you like Marvel movies,
yeah,
watch it. I will say, I wish they released the first 4 episodes
at once.
Because, yeah, when the first 2 episodes came out,
you couldn't really get a read on the show.
You couldn't get a read on it, and they're mimicking these sitcoms and these comedy shows from the 50s and 60s, and they're mimicking them, and they're doing their best to imitate them, and the issue is they weren't funny.
No.
Like, the jokes aren't funny.
It was mostly just weird.
Yeah, and
I mean, the one where they do the talent show was a little funny.
Yeah, but there are parts of it that are funny. Like, I liked when he ate Vision eats gum and it fucks up his insides.
Yeah, I loved that.
Thought that was funny. But I thought that happened throughout the whole series. Like, I think the biggest waste of potential was the Modern Family episode.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny at all.
No, it wasn't.
Which sucked. Which isn't to say the show is bad. It's that when they're mimicking these sitcoms over the decades, like from the 50s to now, if you're going to imitate it and not be funny, don't imitate it. And if you're imitating it and trying to be funny and it's not funny, that's a bummer. And I think that's what happened. I think they thought they were funny, and I just didn't find it funny at all.
I don't know if they were trying to make it funny. I think they were mostly just being like, yeah, this is just her personification and manifestation of
they did a Malcolm
grief.
in the Middle intro.
They did.
And it wasn't funny.
It killed me that I was like, it could have done more.
It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue, is when it's like
Quicksilver also was like weirdly not funny.
I enjoyed when Quicksilver showed up. I thought that in the finale, when you learn that it's just a fucking actor with a dick joke for a name.
Yeah.
That didn't land at all, and I thought that was one of the worst jokes, period, in the MCU.
Yeah, Ralph Boner.
Yeah, Ralph Boner.
Well, have you heard the theory behind that? First of all, Agatha, the whole show is like my husband Ralph.
Yeah.
And his name's Ralph. But also, during the first episode, Jimmy Woo says that somebody's in witness protection in the town, and people think that it's Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, because if it's just a joke, Marvel, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But if it's more than that, then okay, cool.
Great.
There's some lore behind it.
Shaka, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, but we never talked about the grief monologue from Vision.
Oh, what is drip if not sauce persona? Persevere? I will say,
I love that meme.
I think Vision had, I will say that the series as a whole, in terms of making me care about Vision and Scarlet Witch, amazing job.
Yeah, I had never really cared about Scarlet Witch as a character before this show.
Dude, I'll take it one step further. I didn't give a fuck about either of them. Like, in Infinity War...
I was going to say in Endgame where she's like, you took everything from me?
Dude, in Infinity War, when fucking Vision just scene to scene is getting his ass kicked, the best part of the first scene when they're in London and he's getting his ass kicked, the best part of that is the Captain America shows up.
Yeah, when he's in the shadows and he steps out and it's like, oh, hot Captain
I don't
America.
give a shit about Vision. I don't care about Scarlet Witch. I think this show did a great job of making me actually think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Because, Vision's monologue about grief, but also in the finale, his conversation with the new Vision about the ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
And having this philosophical... I ate it up. I understand why some people didn't and were like, it slowed the momentum of the whole episode down. I thought it was fucking awesome.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was great. I loved
it. Like the slow the momentum down. There was still this tension of this could go either way.
This could go really bad.
Yeah, but he's going to try to convince him because he's like, you're me. You just like, you're a little blocked off right now. And it was really cool to see him use his part of the Mind Stone to unlock him.
Yeah.
His eyes change and everything. And I'm so curious what they're going to do with White Vision when he flew off. And because he changed his eyes, I'm like, okay, then he must be able to change other parts of himself. Maybe he won't remain just like pure white vision.
Yeah, I don't think he will, because I think so. I think what he did, he opened up the memories for New Vision, who isn't New Vision. He's Vision. That's the whole point of the conversation. Is they're both Vision.
They're both Vision, but they're not the original Vision.
Which is fine. I don't give a fuck. I think what he did was he opened up the memories for this Vision, who is now going to learn who he is.
Yeah. And
eventually meet up with Scarlet Witch, Wanda, whatever the fuck, down the road. It might not be the Wanda and Vision of WandaVision.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll have a reconnection where Vision's like, no, I know you. I know who you are. I've seen what's happened.
Now, I have a question. And it's a question that had been burning in my mind for like since Scarlet Witch showed up. When are we going to get the costume? What did you think of the costume?
I loved it.
I fucking loved it.
I think if she evil, why she cute?
Yeah. And she's also like this this ambiguous evil too. But I thought her costume was the coolest thing.
I think they did a really good job of staying true to the comic book costume.
Yeah.
While also making it look like a comic book movie costume.
Yeah.
Because, like, Batman in the movies looks similar enough to Batman comics to be like, that's a Batman suit.
Yeah. But it's more modern.
But it's like, The Dark Knight is a great example of a Batman suit that's like, oh, that would never be in the comics. But that's a Batman suit.
Yeah.
I think that's what they did with Scarlet Witch.
And I was like, because the thing I'd always thought about.
The headpiece is amazing.
The headpiece was. It's also the hardest thing to do because I'm like, it can look goofy if it's not right.
Yeah.
And they nailed it.
Well, because when they would do the CGI bits of her wearing it, it looked stupid. And I genuinely thought that. I was like, I really hope.
It's not stupid.
I hope it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
And no, they killed it. I think in terms of character, they crushed it. I think it's setting up for what's coming. And I still stand by that the multiverse is coming.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Because of... did you see the post-credit scenes?
Yeah.
So Secret Invasion. They set that shit up good.
They set up for Secret Invasion, and that's also Captain Marvel 2.
And then Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2 and Jimmy Woo with Ant-Man Quantumania. Yeah.
But I think they did a really great job of setting up, because everybody, as this show was coming to an end, were like, oh my God, these theories, they've got to do it in the finale. And a lot of people from Marvel were like, I think fans have built it up too much.
Well, it's also because, and I read this, was that they didn't want to put really important stuff in the show, because if people that only watch the movies don't watch the show, they don't want them to be lost in the new movies. So they put just enough in for some like extra lore.
Yeah.
Without like cutting out a whole different part of the fan base.
Yeah, which makes sense because my dad loves the movies. He hasn't watched the show.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, you should watch it. If you don't, I'm sure a quick Google.
Yeah, we'll solve everything.
Quick search of like what happened in WandaVision. Well, Wanda took control of a town, eventually gave it up, and has realized that she basically became the Dr. Manhattan of Marvel at the end of the show.
If you don't watch the show, you don't get to understand how badass Scarlet Witch all of a sudden is right at the end.
Dude, when she unlocks her powers, I was telling my coworker, so for people that don't know what Watchmen is, Dr. Manhattan is a character who becomes God. He's not like a god. He's God. He has seen all of the past, all of the future, and has enough power to control matter and time. He is God. And he becomes so bored of Earth and tired of humans' squabbles during the Cold War, he goes to Mars and just creates an oasis for himself. The amount of power Scarlet Witch has in terms of other characters you can compare her to is that.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Like, she unlocked enough power that it's like, if she doesn't train or contain it or know how to control it, that's so scary.
Yeah.
And then I think they're doing a really good job of teasing a House of M type deal.
Yeah, the introduction of mutants.
That, and just at the end of the fucking second post-credit scene, she's in the astral projection, whatever the fuck, and you hear the twins yell.
Yeah, you do.
That's terrifying.
And then she moves it. By the way, that scene where she's floating and flipping through the book, I'm like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in Marvel anything.
It's dope.
It's just all of the runes, and she's flipping through the book, and I'm like, okay. Because I thought she'd be like, I'm not evil, I'm going to fight that. No, she fully took it in. She's like, I'm going to learn.
Well, because she's trying to teach. I think she's trying to teach herself.
Yeah, about magic and how she can control her own powers, but also who is she supposed to become. What did you think of the final episode?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. Like I said, I loved Vision talking to Vision.
Yeah.
I loved that. I loved that at one point she lets everybody out of the town and then has to come to grips with the fact that in doing that, she's going to kill and get rid of her family.
Mm-hmm.
And she can't quite do that yet. I loved that. A lot of complaints online are that it fell into the, CGI fest at the end. Whatever.
Well, people know why now.
Well, not even that. I don't care.
Yeah.
It didn't take me out of it. Was it super CGI? Yeah. Did I give a fuck? Not really. It was cool. The fact that she used something that she learned from the, like, quote unquote villain against them. Awesome.
Oh, how did you like the callback to the first movie she was in where she runs up behind Agatha and just mind controls her?
Loved that.
The coolest thing.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. I loved that she used the runes against Agatha. I thought it was great. I didn't hate it.
No, I didn't hate it either.
And online, a lot of reviews when it first came out were very split. Like, people were like, this isn't what I wanted. I had all these theories are online and none of them happened. And then other people were like, well, yeah, no shit, dummy. And I was like, okay, well, now I got to see what's happening. And when I watched it, I wasn't disappointed. I thought it was good. I thought it did a really good job of pointing out that, yeah, we were never going to get the multiverse now.
Yeah.
Which I hate, because I know last episode I was like, it's coming. Here it comes.
We are
multiverse is happening.
They've definitely succeeded at making us all so hyped for the multiverse.
Dude, it's gonna happen.
And it's going to be so fucking cool.
It's going to be awesome. And it's just, I think they did a really good job of calming down everybody to the point of like, well, yeah, like everybody I think has now had the time to take a step back and be like, well, yeah, no shit, they weren't going to do it. Myself included. Like, I was so excited for the last episode.
Pumped.
And then in what happened, I was like, okay, well, fair. Yeah, they weren't going to do that. But they've set it up beautifully.
Yeah.
And so I think they did a great job.
I also, because initially at the end of it, I had some questions of like, well, they set up all these storylines for like Monica and Darcy and all this stuff and the twins and like during all the episodes. And I'm like, so where were they? What happened with the fucking rabbit was my question at the end of it. Because that felt like it was supposed to be important.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, I liked it because I did like it.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I was like, that was really nice. I like it. But a part of me was like, why do I feel like I'm not getting exactly, because everybody was so hyped about it. I'm like, why does this not feel like it's fulfilling all this hype? Then I read about it. First of all, I read that a lot of the episodes were shot pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then like the last episode was mostly edited after COVID had started, so they were limited. And for how they were limited, they still fucking killed it. And then also with the explanation of they don't want to reveal anything that's not in the movies, that makes sense. With that on the table, that last episode was really fucking great.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Now, since we've been talking about it for too long.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. But now we've been talking about it too long.
Yeah.
I have movie news.
Movie news.
First bit of movie news.
Mm.
Quiet Place 2 release date was originally in September. It was originally in like June. Then it got moved to September because of COVID. It has now been moved again.
To when?
Memorial Day weekend.
So it got moved up, or?
It moved up. It's coming out sooner than it was expected.
Yay!
Which is cool. I'm excited for it. I think the first one did a good job of like, it had the gimmick of, sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it played with that really well. And I think the second one is, good. I hope it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to expect. But if it's like the first one, I'll probably like it.
They set it up right at the end for, oh, cool, there's going to be a second one. I'm really pumped for what's going to come next. I really enjoyed the first one too. I thought my favorite character was John Krasinski, so the fact that he's gone makes me sad. But Emily Blunt's phenomenal, so I think they're gonna kill it either way. I also think the young actress that the deaf girl
Yeah.
killed it. So as long as they keep killing it, I'm pumped. I'm excited to see what happens. Isn't Black Widow coming out in like 2 months too?
Yeah, it's apparently coming out in May, and they're saying it's only going to get a theatrical release. They're really pushing for the theatrical release, for better or worse.
And I just want to see David Harbour.
I think it'll be
David
cool.
Harbour.
Yeah. So that's another bit of movie news.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious 9. Shout out to my man Tyborg.
It's about family.
It's about family.
It's about family.
Delayed again.
What? Really?
Delayed again until like June. It was supposed to come out in like May. It's coming out in June. I'll explain why I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm curious.
COVID hit, right? And the reason I said shout out to my boy Tyborg is because COVID hit. Okay? Everyone in the fraternity that I'm in had to either go home or bunker up in Keene. And when I say bunker, I mean we didn't leave our houses.
Yeah.
It sucked. We missed each other a lot. None of us saw each other. My buddy Ty, we all call him Tyborg. Tyborg in chats, he also was in charge of putting together like the end of the year stuff. So like senior goodbye, we have a formal, we have like dinner with it, all this stuff. He was in charge of putting that together. Because of COVID, it all got canceled. He was upset with that. He wasn't too mad. In the chat, you wouldn't know he was that upset. He was figuring it out. Gave us all our money back by the end of the year because it wasn't happening. When Fast and the Furious 9 got delayed originally in the group chat, he sent a message and it was like, yo, Fast 9 just got canceled. Or not canceled. Fast 9 just got delayed till 2021 because this is supposed to come out like a year ago. And then he's just like, got delayed till 20. Fuck this. Fuck COVID. Fuck all of this. This is bullshit. Oh my God, I hate COVID. Here's what's up. At the time, I couldn't see family. I still barely see my family.
Yeah.
People were stuck at their houses. Friends couldn't go home because they were going to put their family at risk. We're all dealing with that still. At the time, we're all in the fraternity figuring this shit out. Tyler, to all of our knowledge, is doing fine. Fast and the Furious 9 gets postponed, and you would think his world ended. He was so upset. He was pissed. And I saw him the day that the news came out, and he sent the message. I was like, bro, it's not even going to be good. He went, fuck you, Uga. It's going to be great. He went, fucking shut up, Uga. And I was like, okay. Sorry, man. Sorry. I didn't realize you love Fast 9 that much, but I figured I'd give him a shout out. And it is coming out, just not till June at this point. But it'll eventually see the light of day. It's about family.
It's about family.
In other movie news, Space Jam 2.
Oh, yeah. Space Jam 2.
Do you want to talk about Lola Bunny?
She's not sexy no more.
She wasn't sexy to begin with, first of all.
Well, what I'm saying
She's
is
an animated cartoon character,
she's been less sexualized.
Problematic.
Versus the last one.
No,
the meme is that she no sexy no more.
The meme is she no sexy no more.
Yeah.
And I love that all it took for the meme was that they took her from a crop top jersey to a jersey.
Yeah.
Nothing else. They didn't do shit. They just took a fucking animated bunny. And I'd like it known for all my female fans. I like any bunny, crop top or not. I like all my bunnies.
As long as it's some bunny.
As long as it's animated. No. So the big thing is Lola Bunny, Bugs Bunny's fucking girlfriend, I think.
Yeah.
In Space Jam was, for all intents and purposes, sexualized.
she didn't have a lot of character in that. It's very
Nah,
shallow.
but in terms of character design, she was in a crop top and booty shorts in a kids movie, which the director has since come out recently and been like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's a kids movie. Why is there a fucking animated bunny wearing booty shorts and a crop top? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I get where they're coming from. And then so in the new Space Jam, they have her in just a fucking basketball jersey and some basketball shorts, which for people that don't know, basketball shorts are like weirdly long. They just are. I don't know why. I don't play. But
your ankles.
But the fucking internet, when this happened, when this was shown that she's not the same character design, oh my God.
It blew up.
It's sort of gross.
It is kind of gross.
It's sort of gross because it's a bunch of people being like, oh my God, why'd they change the character? And it's like, well, because for little girls, why the fuck would you sexualize that? It's an animated bunny.
I hope she's... Here's my thing, is that in the last movie, I remember, because I thought about it, she didn't have a lot of lines and wasn't really a character. She was more just like...
Yeah.
Kind of like a...
I only remember...
She's supposed to be like sexy bunny, and that's weird. And now, I hope, even though she's not the same character model, I hope she's like Crazy Lola from the latest Looney Tunes, because she was actually funny.
And if it's like, bro, you need a sexualized cartoon character to get your rocks off, like Jessica Rabbit's right there.
Dude, LeBron James.
Jessica Rabbit is right there. Just stick with it. They're not going to remake Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They never could. So just Jessica Rabbit. Tried and true. But
is it LeBron James in the...
Yeah, LeBron James is in Space Jam too.
You want someone to ogle it? Do LeBron James.
Dude, he's the king. Also, Pepe Le Pew.
What about Pepe Le Pew?
He's not going to be in Space Jam 2.
Why not?
Because the director and writer believe that he promotes rape culture.
You know what? Yeah.
He is a problematic character.
Yeah.
Now, they have since said that there was a scene with Pepe Le Pew where he made a move at a character, apparently, and LeBron James stops him and is like, you can't do that, especially not without her consent.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing. I don't think it's wrong to take Pepe Le Pew out of the movie. I don't think Pepe Le Pew is a great character to begin with.
I don't think even in general, I don't think Pepe Le Pew's that great of a character.
But in terms of saying he promotes rape culture, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think if the scene was that, you should leave it in.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I think that's a great way for Warner Brothers and the animation team going forward with any Looney Tunes project to have Pepe Le Pew bits.
Yeah, clean it up.
He's teaching himself what's right and what's wrong.
Dude, give Pepe Le Pew a character arc.
Because like I will say some people are, again, disgustingly upset about this. And I don't think it's...
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah. And
why?
Because
that's stupid.
Because it's... Yeah. Well, because of all the bits from like the old Looney Tunes cartoons where he's going after the skunk.
Yeah.
So he paints himself as the skunk to win her over and all that shit. But I don't even remember it all. But so people are like, you can't just cancel all this shit. But in reality, you fucking can.
That specifically, because it's so like overtly, like he's really trying aggressively hard and forcefully touching.
It's not wrong. Time. It isn't wrong to say it promotes rape culture. He does. Like,
and you know what? If Warner Bros. I also agree. I think that bit about consent, which is something that needs to be kind of put into more media but it's like in media and social media, but to put it in like big mainstream media like that'd be great. So I think that they should definitely keep it in, but they're not going to. They're not going to,
and I get why in terms of the character itself for children, which is the other thing. These characters are for children, so to have adults get mad about it, it's like, bro, fuck off. It's not about you anymore. It was about you in the 90s when this movie's first movie came out. Yeah, but things changed. Sorry you didn't keep up.
You're also not 12 anymore.
Yeah, like who cares? But yeah, in terms of like the character's problematic. I get why they're cutting him out. I get why that scene was written, because yes, that's a great, in terms of like starting that conversation, moving forward with the character. That's a great scene. But knowing the demographic of kids and the age group that's going to watch this movie, you don't need to start that conversation. You can just not have it.
The conversation about consent?
No, you should have. I mean, yeah. But in terms of having a very problematic character and having another character in the movie be like, don't do that. That's wrong. Here's why. If I had a 10-year-old come up to me and go, why is that wrong? That's a hard conversation to have with a 10-year-old.
I know, it's an important conversation.
It is, but Kyle.
That's not for Warner Brothers to push.
That's what I'm saying.
Parents.
I'm not saying it's not a conversation to have. It is. Of course you should. You should have those conversations with your kids. They should know what's wrong about doing shit like that. I'm saying it's not. If I was a parent and I was like, go watch the movie, and my kid comes at me with, what's consent? And they're 8? Come on.
It's when people, you don't want to do shit to people without their permission. Boom. But also, Dad, in the movie, he went to hug the girl. Yeah.
Why didn't she want a hug?
Because sometimes people don't want hugs.
So do I need to ask for hugs every time I get a hug from Aunt whatever? Do you see why it's do you see why it's not the movie's place to start that conversation?
That's an interesting conversation.
Because as if I was a parent and I sent like, you know, my kid to my friend's house to watch a movie with their kid, play date, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And they came home with that, asking me these types of questions because they don't understand. They're not going to be able to grasp it.
I think the whole point of Pepe Le Pew being in there, if his whole point of being in the movie is for that line and that's it,
just cut it out.
Just cut it out.
Because it's not. Because if I was a parent, and it would come down to, if I'm a parent and my kid isn't the age where they'll be able to grasp that concept. Because again, like, you're not wrong in being like, you need permission to do those things. Cool.
But that's something we're all taught.
But if I have a 10-year-old, if I'm 10 and my parent told me that, I wouldn't grasp the concept the way a 15-year-old would.
Yeah, because there's a difference between at that age, it's like you need to ask permission to use their toys versus sex is big.
So like a kid, like not a teenager or a preteen, but a child isn't going to grasp that concept.
Yeah.
It's just a fact. They're not gonna. Unless you're teaching your kid these things, which more power to you. But if I'm a parent and my kid came home with a question like that, I'd be like, what the fuck did you watch? Well, we watched Space Jam 2, A New Legacy. The fuck? Now I gotta go watch the movie and see what happens.
Yeah, it's like telling your kid, it's just like when you are teaching your kid about that, you want to lead them down a path that helps them understand it to a great degree. And just telling them not to do that without the understanding of it will cause further problems.
Yeah, and if the kid doesn't grasp the concept, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Because if they're not going to grasp it, it can become problematic.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree with them for cutting out the character. I think the scene would have been cool if it was directed towards an older demographic.
But it's
great, but it's not.
And all these people that are getting mad about...
Bro, it makes no fucking sense.
They're the same people that are mad about regular show not being on Cartoon Network.
He's
anymore.
a rapey cat.
Yeah.
Like, he's a weird character.
He's the skunk, and he goes after the cat that has the stripe down her back.
That's right. Yeah, he's a skunk.
Yeah.
He's a rapey skunk.
He's a stinky, rapey skunk. So he's gone, and I hope you guys are okay with that.
And if you're not, I don't care.
Don't care.
and if you want to argue with me, you can find me on Twitter at mama_Jeb. I'll gladly read your fucking posts.
You know who else will read it? Is send a letter to Warner Brothers.
They won't give a fuck either. Because like, if you have a problem with it, find somebody that gives a shit. Because I don't.
Go to your Reddit boards.
Go to your Reddit board. But in other movie news, Alejandro Inarritu is making a movie.
Isn't he the cinematographer for Terrence Malick?
No, that's Emmanuel Lubezki.
I get confused.
He worked with Emmanuel Lubezki on The Revenant.
That's where the connection is.
Which was his last movie.
Okay.
So he's finally
I knew there was a connection.
He's making a new movie. Not much is known about it. I don't know shit about it. I just know he's making a new movie. I'm excited.
That's exciting. Not
It's
knowing much
exciting.
about it. If it's a good creator,
It'll
then
be good.
Hell yeah.
All of his movies are good. In other news of good movie directors making good movies all the time, Yorgos Lanthimos. Do you know who he is?
That's a cool name.
Do you not know who he is?
Yorgos Lanthimos?
Yeah.
That sounds like a fantasy character. That's
No,
awesome.
it's a director.
It's a director? It's
He's a
housewife.
Greek film director who made movies The Lobster,
Oh, he made The Lobster.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer,
Oh, okay.
The Favorite. He also made a movie called Alps, Dogtooth, Canetta, and My Best Friend.
Okay.
He is making a new movie
Cool.
called Poor Things. It's a Frankenstein-esque tale that follows a young woman who is brought back to life by an eccentric scientist. In early talks to star are Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone.
Oh, I'm watching that. Shit.
So
That's really cool.
I don't know if Willem Dafoe will be in it. I hope Emma Stone is in it. She was in The Favorite, and she was great. The Favorite was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
If people haven't seen it, watch it. It's fucking awesome. He is a great director. He makes very quirky, weird movies. They're so fucking weird.
I remember watching The Lobster, not knowing what to expect and being like, whoa.
Dude,
what's happening?
I saw The Lobster with a girl.
Oh, no.
She picked it.
Oh, she did? Okay.
She picked it, not really knowing what it was about, and we watched it, and we both agreed, because it was apparently a date.
Between you and her?
Yeah, we both agreed later on. It was like,
apparently.
we both agreed later on, like, if we were to have a first date, that was it. And we picked a fucking awful movie for a first date. But we both agreed, great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we both were like, that was such a good movie. It's quirky, it's weird, it's dark. All of his movies are fucking dark. But we both are just like, yeah, no, not romantic, though. We did not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's making a new movie. That's exciting. I'm excited for it. I forgot how much I love him until I saw the headline and was like, oh shit. I'm about to go. I was like, oh shit, I'm about to go back into my Lanthimos phase. Like,
the story just reminds me of, I went on a date with a girl in 8th grade and we went and saw The Purge. And it was a double date. And they were like, man, this movie's so cool. Or they were making out with each other. And I was just like, this movie's bad.
my worst is I saw Sausage Party on a first date.
Oh no,
Never
dude! You're picking those movies. You're picking are bad. Was it her?
I'm a gentleman. I'll let you pick the movie. I don't give a fuck.
So she picked the.
She picked Sausage Party.
That's on her.
Not really knowing what it was about, and I was excited to see it because, and I stand by this. Seth Rogen from This Is the End.
Yeah.
The Interview. Neighbors.
Was Neighbors good? I never saw
Neighbors was great.
Really?
Love Neighbors. If you haven't watched it, I'll throw it on after this.
There's a bit about eating pizza in bed that I'm like, I resonate with that.
Oh, I love Neighbors. I own it. I have it upstairs. We'll watch it sometime. I love Neighbors. But This Is the End is so funny.
Mm-hmm. I remember
It's
seeing
one of
that in
the
theaters.
It is one of the dumbest fucking movies.
It's hilarious.
It is so funny. If you go in expecting it to be smart, it's not. It's so stupid, and I love it. Neighbors, same deal. It's not gonna blow your mind, but it's fucking funny.
It's meant to be funny. Yeah.
Yeah. The Interview, hilariously funny. The Night Before, underrated and does not get the love it deserves. It is funny.
I feel like I've seen that.
It's the Christmas movie with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie.
I've seen it and I don't remember it, I don't think.
My favorite part of it is, so everybody knows the movie Big with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
When they're in the fucking toy store and they do the keyboard and they're like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So in The Night Before, and I hope you can find a clip and play it after I talk about it and like actually play it with the sound.
Put it right here.
After I'm done talking about it. Instead of doing chopsticks, they do Kanye West's Runaway.
Really?
So Seth Rogen walks up and he finds the key and he's like, ding, ding, ding. If you've heard the song, you know what I'm doing. And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's at the other end of the keyboard. He goes, ding, 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 ding. And then Anthony Mackie, because at the beginning of that song, there's just these keys. And it's like, when's it going to start? And then I think Runaway is probably one of the best songs of all time. I know Kanye West, very, very not loved, very
split,
polarizing.
Yeah.
I think Runaway is one of the greatest songs of all time. When that beat kicks in, it's fucking amazing. And there's a voice that just yells, look at you, look at... And Anthony Mackie, when the beat kicks in, comes sliding across the floor with a toy store megaphone, just yelling, look at you, look... And it's so funny. So I love that movie.
Yeah, I gotta watch that movie now.
All these movies came out, and then Sausage Party came out.
So you're like, based on everything else.
Literally in my head, I'm like, based on all the other shit, because I didn't love Seth Rogen until This Is the End. And then from This Is the End, everything he was doing was knocking out the park. So I'm like, yo, if she wants to see Sausage Party, I want to see it too. I genuinely wanted to see it. We were watching it. And for those that haven't seen it, it's fucking gross. She left. Halfway through the movie, she turned to me. She's like, I think this movie's disgusting. I don't want to watch it. And I was like, I bought the tickets.
I'm staying.
I'm going to watch the movie. Because I bought the ticket. Like, I'm watching the fucking movie. And I'm liking it. I thought it was hilarious. There's a bit where he goes through the freezer aisle of a store and a frozen meatloaf, voiced by Meatloaf, sings I Would Do Anything for Love, the hit song by the rock star Meatloaf. That's comedy, baby. That's fucking funny. This girl left before that part happened. She didn't see it.
It's a shame.
She doesn't know what's funny. So she dipped. She was like, you're going to stay? I was like, yeah. She leaves. I thought she would wait because she was my ride.
She bailed.
She fucking dipped. Left completely. Movie had an hour left. Movie ends. I thought it was hilarious. The end is just a giant, like, 5-minute animated food orgy. Literally.
With one frame of a human butthole in it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And by that, I mean, you know, it's forever in my mind.
So might as well enjoy
lives rent-free in my mind. And I left the movie theater on this date, and the girl was beautiful, and I remember there's no love lost. I still talk to her every now and then. Not often because college shit happens, but throughout high school, there was no love lost. We were like, you know what? Bad idea. You want to give it another try? She was like, ew. I was like, okay, fair. I get it. Whatever. But yeah, no. I've seen Sausage Party on a first date. Terrible time. Terrible first date. Hilarious story in terms of like, how bad can a first date go? Well, my date ditched me and then left me in a movie theater that's a 3-hour walk from my house. So like, how bad was your night? Like, I walked home too.
Oh my God. Wait, that reminds me. I went to go see Days of Future Past when it came out.
Gotcha.
Went to the theater, enjoyed it. This was when I was sailing. So I was in port, went to this movie theater, saw a late showing because we came in late. Got there. We were like in home port.
Yeah.
So people that lived around there could just go home. I didn't live around there. I was sleeping on the boat. This theater's on the other side of the city.
Okay.
We watch it. Ends. We're fucking hyped. It's my favorite X-Men movie. I love the Quicksilver scene. We walk out. We're hyped.
Quicksilver scene's a classic.
Yeah. We go to the bus stop, and the bus has stopped running 10 minutes before.
That sucks.
I have no ride. I have no way home. The buddy I went with was like, I live right there. I'm going there. I can't have you there because I'm not allowed to have people over. And I ran 5 miles back to the boat, just jogging, middle of the night.
You've told me that.
Just 16 years old.
You've told me about that.
Like, I'm going to die, but at least I'm going to run all the way back home.
That's funny.
I fucking made it. And my dad was like, oh, hey, how'd it go? And I'm like, it's been, I'm like an hour and a half late. You're just chill?
It's been a night. Yeah, that happened.
Bad movie theater times. Anyway.
I've had a couple, but, so I know I started this off by saying I've got like 2 stories about family. And it's going to piss off my family, but my mom has already told me. She told me she tried to listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
She picked the episode where we rattled off nominations.
Oh, no.
She told me, and that was my reaction. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I got lost. I didn't know what you were talking about. And I was like, well, huh? How? What? She's a little special.
I labeled them.
She confused, but she didn't watch it. She listened to it. It's a podcast. People listen. People listen. People listen.
Yeah, to our friends on Spotify and SoundCloud, hi.
But my mom, throughout COVID, this is story 1. My mom throughout COVID, and I know she'll get mad if she hears it, but I know she fucking won't.
Not after the nomination.
Not after that. She basically told me, she's like, I just didn't connect with me. I was like, just say you don't want to fucking listen to it. She hasn't left her house throughout most of COVID. From January 4th to February 20th, she got gas once. And it was on February 20th.
Yeah.
That's how often she didn't leave the fucking house. This woman is, for all intents and purposes, a hermit in her neighborhood. She's my mom and I love her to death. And that's the other part. Before I tell the stories about family, I love my family a lot. And like my friends know this. My family knows this. I put family above pretty much everything. Like my OnlyFans subscriptions and then family right underneath it. Like, no, I put family above everything. I love my family.
Yeah, we live like down the street.
Well, not even that, just in terms of like, if a family member were to call me at any point in the day, I'd pick up. I love family. I think my family is the most important thing to me. And family's very important. And my mom, arguably the most important. Up there with my dad, you know.
That kills me because I just got 2 phone calls from my family that I'm just like, I'll call back.
Well, so like my parents are super important to me and I love them both a lot. My dad's one of my best friends. Genuinely, I love my dad. My mom, I love her. I acknowledge that everything she did for me when I was a kid has molded me into who I am today. I love her just an unfathomable amount for everything she gave up for me. She was a single mom when she raised me. I love her to death. My mom is mean a lot. She's really mean a lot of the time. I could probably do a stand-up special about my mom. My mom is tough. My mom did not leave her house for most of COVID. The other day, I go driving by a house, right? And I'm like, I'm going to stop by. I'll say hi. I got a haircut. She kept bothering me to get a haircut. Every time I saw her for like a month, she was like, get a fucking haircut. Oddly enough, she hasn't told me to shave.
Yeah.
But she was
looking fresh.
But she was bugging me about hair. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like this? Come on. I'm like, I'm going to show her my haircut. I'll stop by and say hi. She's doing a diet right now. I'm not going to say she's struggling with it, but she's not loving it. Like, she's not having fun.
Yeah, I mean, no one
loves a diet, but she's doing the one where they like mail you the food. So she's not even like cooking.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. It's one of those ones where it's just like, this is misery.
It's like blue apron stuff.
One of those types of things.
Yeah.
And I go driving by her house, and this woman doesn't leave her house because of COVID. This woman being my mother. I keep talking about her like she's not my mom. I love my mom. I drive by her house. There's no car.
Oh.
I'm like, maybe she's out shopping. I had errands to run. I run my errands. I come home. I think Allie and I went for a walk. Tell Allie, I'm like, I'm going to swing by my mom's. Drive by again, no car. I'm like, where the fuck is my mom? Because at this point, I'm like, there's no fucking way that she's got day plans.
Yeah, you're like, am I concerned?
Like, she doesn't do shit.
Yeah, you're like, should I be worried?
So I needed a reason to text my mom. That's how infrequently I'll just casually talk to my mom. If I text her just asking how she is, she'd probably think I'm sick. Like, we don't have that kind of relationship. We love each other a lot. I'll swing by and sit with her for a bit, but we don't text.
Yeah.
So, like, I need a reason. I go in my room. In December, she had me go get my prescription changed for my glasses. You'll notice I don't have new glasses. I got the prescription. I was like, okay, when am I getting new glasses? She's like, well, I don't have the money for it. I'm like, that makes sense. Fair, no problem. She's like, plus insurance. I'm like, you don't need to explain anymore. You said not yet. When you say go, I'll go. Don't worry about it.
Like you're paying for it. Not worried.
If it's because you need to pay, just say when. Don't worry.
I can see well enough right now.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So I text her. I'm like, hey, I just found my new prescription on my dresser. That was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
When am I getting new glasses? She goes, when I have spare change. I don't have the money right now. And I'm like, okay, how are you? She goes, I'm good. I'm like, how's your diet? She goes, it's good. I opened Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go on Facebook that much.
Yeah.
I opened Facebook, and a friend of my mom's who I'm friends with on Facebook checked in at a winery in Florida with a photo of my mom saying, you know, enjoying this early springtime sun with my good friend Jamie. And I read it and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, my mom's in Florida? The fuck is she doing in Florida? So I text her. I'm like, are you in Florida? She goes, yeah, I'm in Florida. I'm visiting her friend.
Yeah.
And immediately I go, well, shit, Mom, there went your spare change. What the fuck are you?
That's amazing.
I can't get new glasses, but you just flew to Florida. You won't go to the fucking grocery store, but you went to Florida. Okay, cool. And she gets mad. I could tell from her responses that she was like, I'll call this kid and I'll fucking kill him. Because it's one of those things where, like, once you talk, no matter what age you are, if you talk back to your parent,
you're done.
They'll reach a point where you're their kid. They will reach a point, you could be a grown-ass man. They'll reach a point where they'll be like, you look, motherfucker, I cleaned your sheets when you pissed yourself. The fuck are you saying?
I made you.
So I'm like, why can't I get glasses? Like, why did I go to the appointment? I didn't schedule it. She scheduled it. By the way, I'm 22. I should schedule that, right? I didn't. She did. So I'm like, why did I go to this appointment if I can't get new glasses that you say you can't afford, and yet you're in Florida? No response. That's a dub. That's a win. I wait like 30 minutes. I go to work. And I text my mom and I go, I'll pay for the fucking glasses. And I said that. I don't swear at my mom that often. And when I do, she usually tells me to watch my language. And she liked the message. And I was like, oh shit, my mom's arguing like a fucking teenager. Let's go. But then a couple days go by. She tried calling me and I was at work, so I ignored the phone call. And she texted me immediately. She's like, why are you dodging my calls? I'm like, I'm not dodging your calls. I'm at work. She goes, you're at work? I sent her a selfie. I'm like, I'm at fucking work. And I've also, my ankle's been fucked up for like a week now.
I've been worried about this boy.
Like a week and a half. It sucks. It's been getting relatively better. It still hurts.
Yeah, now that you aren't at one of your two jobs anymore.
I quit one of my 2 full-time jobs because I was like, physically, I just can't. I fucked up my ankle. I think I twisted it, and I didn't have the time to be able to rest it.
Dude, you've been working like a monster.
Dude, I've been killing myself.
You walked down the stairs today after.
It's still that's the thing.
A chill day.
But that's the thing. Like, it still hurts, and that's because I heard it like 2 weeks ago, and I've been working straight through. And with like a fucked up ankle, like a twisted ankle, anything, if you rest it for like 2 days,
yeah,
it'll be fine. I haven't been able to. I'm still not able to. But she's like, you're working? Sent her a selfie. I'm like, I'm at work right now. She's like, call me when you're out of work. Call her at like 10 o'clock. She picks up and she goes, I can't talk right now. I'm like, why'd you pick up? Like, that's annoying.
I could have just left you a message.
Yeah, like I could have just left you a phone message. And then she just never called me back, so I'm like, tight, whatever. I don't know what she wanted to talk about. And then like yesterday, she texted me at like 9 in the morning. She goes, are you working today? And I go, no, I've got the whole day off. I just quit one of my 2 jobs, so now I just work in the mornings. I'm hoping it'll be better for me. It's a little less pay, but I'm doing all right. She goes, so you're off today? And I'm like, fuck everything I just said.
Yeah, sure, I'm off.
Yes. I'm off today. I put my phone down. I go take a shower. Come back into my room. I get dressed. My phone goes off. It's my mom. Tell Allie, hey, can you check the message? Allie opens my phone. Message says, can you pick me up from Logan Airport in Boston later today? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, fuck am I going to say no? She already knows I'm not doing anything. So if I say no, why? Why not? So I'm like, yeah, I'll pick you up. Pick her up. First of all, I've never had a good experience driving into Logan Airport. This one was fine.
Yeah.
I pick her up. She gets in the car. She's like, are you good to drive? I'm like, well, I got here.
I guess we'll drive home.
I guess I can make it home.
Yeah.
I made it to the airport. Why wouldn't I be able to make it?
Where's your car? Where's her car?
It's in, she parked at like one of those bus terminals
Oh,
that
okay.
you can take just straight to the airport.
Cool.
Pick her up, get on the highway, go into the left lane, which is what I like to call the 80 lane.
Mm-hmm.
Because
in Mass? Yeah.
In New Hampshire, I have been driving for about 2 years now, which sounds weird because I'm 22. I didn't get my license until I was 20. I've never gotten a ticket for speeding, ever. I've never gotten a ticket, flat out.
Did you get pulled over?
Nope.
Okay.
Never.
Cool.
My mom, I'm in the fucking passing lane. I hit 72. I shit you not. She like made a movement towards the wheel and goes, you need to slow down. I'm like, what? She goes, you got to slow down. I'm like, why? She goes, you're going too fast. I'm like, I'm in the left lane.
I got to go fast.
I have to go fast.
Yeah.
She's like, you're going too fast. I'm like, Mom, I'm not even going 10 above the speed limit. What the fuck are you on? And I'm like, you called me to pick you up. I'm driving. If you wanted to drive, you didn't need to call. She's like, well, I would have had to take a bus. I'm like, well, shit. Would you have been telling the bus driver how fast to go? She gets quiet. Play some music. We talk about some shit. We catch up. It was fine. But my mom, like, that was my fill for the next, 3 months. I'm probably not going to see my mom for a while. But that's my mom story. My mom randomly went to Florida. And then she complained how she can't go to Ireland. And I was like, well, there's 49 other states. Why not fucking try? Visit them all. Clearly you don't give a shit.
I'd like to go to Australia.
Dude.
And see concerts.
I'd suck dick to see a live show. Which then my mom was like, we saw a live show. I'm like, nah, not like COVID restriction. Like, I would probably let Mike Tyson in his prime punch my shoulder. Like a buddy punch, but like full force, just like boom in my shoulder. If it meant I could see, I'm not even gonna say one of my favorite artists. Like if I could see Bjork live. I don't even own a Bjork album. I couldn't name a Bjork song off my fucking top of my head. I miss live shows. But that's my mom. And then my follow-up story is my family, my brother, my older sister, my younger sister, my stepmom are going to hate that I'm putting them on blast right now. But they are taking a trip to Vermont. And they invited me. I was invited, but when I was invited, I was like, I'm probably going to be working. I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working.
Didn't let me know with enough time.
No, they let me know with enough time, but I was like, I'm going to be working. I can't take the time off. I need the money because that's how my mind is when I have a job. I'm like, I feel bad requesting time off because I like money, I guess. But then I found out I have one of the days off. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I'll come visit. I'll spend a day with you guys. And my sister is like, well, we all got tested. I'm like, cool.
All right.
Cool. I can't. They're like, why not? I'm like, well, I work. Doesn't make sense. If I get tested on Thursday, but I work on Friday, why did I get tested on Thursday? I could get exposed on Friday. My sister, I was FaceTiming her. Watching her process how that works, priceless. Because then she's like, well, I got tested this weekend. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm like, how have you been? What have you been up to? She went to Provincetown, Cape Cod, visited one of her friends.
So you're exposed.
Immediately I go, well, have you been retested? She gets all mad. I'm like, well, that's how this shit works.
Yeah.
I'm like, if y'all want to put that in place of like, if you want to come to this fucking vacation weekend, you gotta get tested.
It's not a feel-good medal. It's an actual
It's not like if I were to plan a vacation, be like, everyone's got to get tested. Vacation starts on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You get tested on Monday. You get results on Wednesday. From Monday to Friday, you're not doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't leave your house. I don't want you seeing people. Because as soon as you do, I don't care if you're masked up. I don't give a fuck. That exposure is a risk.
Yeah, it negates the whole test.
Ruins it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this to my little sister. She's like, well, and I'm like, no, that's how it works. I've been working through most of the pandemic. I understand thoroughly how testing works.
And I've seen some people, go through
like
COVID.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I told my sister, I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, because I genuinely gave my little sister a hard time. And I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. But it just pissed me off. And so I told my brother, and my brother's like, oh, that sucks. And then I learned all the significant others are invited.
So that's another round.
So my brother's girlfriend is invited, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to her the other day. And I'm like, I can't get tested. She goes, well, why don't you just take a picture of my result, say it's yours? And I'm like, nah. And then I'm like, well, what are you doing today? She goes, I'm going to work. She works retail. What the fuck?
That's the most exposed you can get.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? You got tested. You need to get tested again. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like,
that's as exposed as you can get without going to Texas, right?
Like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but that's so stupid. Like, what are you fucking doing? Why say we all got to get tested? Because clearly it doesn't matter. And if you can't see why that testing doesn't matter, that's stupid. Like I should be able to show up. And then I told my little sister, I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm so mad. I haven't seen my family in forever. I've seen my little sister, and when I see her, she wears a mask because she's super fucking paranoid about it, and it pisses me off because I'm fine, and that I don't want to make it sound like I don't wear my mask. I wear my mask constantly. I go out to eat, I wear it. I go to work, I wear it. At both my jobs. When I'm out and about, I wear it. When I'm driving, I'll forget I have it on. I'm not believing in the safety precautions. What I think is stupid is my family hasn't got it. Mm-hmm. I haven't got it. Mm-hmm. Nobody in this house has got it. Mm-hmm. We've lived here since August.
Yeah.
Has my little sister ever been to our apartment?
No.
Do you want to know why? She's scared of COVID exposure. It drives me up a fucking wall.
Yeah, I'm still curious. I'm like, I've never even met Jake's sister.
You've never met?
My brother's been here like 12 times.
Dude, your brother comes through all the time. I love you, brother. Dude.
Shout out to Ben.
I had a friend come through. She works in a lab. She gets tested weekly. Like, I'm sick of having to convince my family that it's okay to just come say hi. I'm not going to kill you. It's not going to happen. I'm good. I know I'm good. Everybody in this house knows they're good. And whenever we have a possible exposure, we do take it seriously.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? And then my sister's like, well, you could still get tested. I'm like, no, I can't. Because if I get a rapid test on Thursday to get my results by Saturday, the day I could go see them, I still have to work on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, it is pointless. That story's not as funny as the Florida one.
But it's a story.
So I'm going to follow it up with a pretty funny story.
Just full of stories today.
I got blacklisted.
Oh, shit, this story.
Because I also realized I know you don't talk about your life for personal reasons. I get that.
Yeah.
I think my life is full of enough stories.
My life's also, I work a lot, and that's it.
I think, I do too, but I think funny shit happens to me enough. And I can talk about this. I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Fuck this place, anyway.
But, yeah, maybe, yeah. But, no, like, fuck.
Fuck this guy.
I like 3/4 of the people in this place. And I don't know why I'm being secretive about it. Because the tweet that got me in trouble says the name of the place. So if you want,
I'm pretty sure we talked about it before.
We probably did. Yeah. How about this? I'll pin the tweet to my Twitter profile, which I said the name for earlier in the episode. And if you want to see the tweet, it'll be there.
You know what? I'll do you one better.
You'll post it.
Here's a tweet.
Perfect. Great. Tweet's going to be there. So I used to work at a breakfast cafe. And the boss that I worked for lack of a better term, was problematic. Behind closed doors.
He was racist.
He was ignorant.
Yeah.
He was ignorant.
Oh yeah, no, he was just.
He was just ignorant. He was so ignorant. It was that problematic though, because that's the thing. I would come home with these things that he would say, and the whole house heard these stories, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, he's racist," and I'd be like, "He's not."
No,
and
I remember you and I had that conversation.
I was just saying, and I stand by that because I genuinely think his intentions as a person are decent. I'm not gonna say good.
Decent enough.
Decent enough. He's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy.
Not a smart guy.
No, he's a businessman. He started his own business. He's been up for like 6 years. But during the Capitol riots that became an insurrection, that became a siege of the Capitol, that became an invasion of the Capitol, my boss said very problematic things that led to me going into the bathroom and tweeting the tweet. And I tweeted it and called it a day. Like 14 people liked it, 3 people retweeted it. I loved that people were now aware that I didn't want my friends to buy from this place.
Yeah.
I had told my family. They were like, okay, cool. We'll stop shopping there as often. My dad lives right up the street. So when he would come in, I was like, you know what? I get it. Because to his credit, he makes decent lunch food and he makes really good breakfast food.
Dude, the one with the pancake inside.
Oh my God. The breakfast sandwiches that he makes are genuinely good.
They're so good.
So the other day, I was staying at my dad's place with Allie because when she has a lot of work to do, we go there because there's less people there. It's just her and I. And she can get her work done and I can go to work. And I woke up and I was like, you know what? I've got time. I'll go get us breakfast. And I walk in and my buddy Jesse is working and he sees me and he goes, oh, hey, oh shit. And he leaves. And I'm like,
just walked away from the front counter.
And I'm immediately just like, I wonder what's going on. I don't know what I want. And I start looking at the menu. And my old boss comes out and he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm still looking at the menu. He goes, yeah, you can't be in here. And I thought they were giving me shit. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm looking at the menu. In retrospect, definitely not the right thing to say. For sure pissed him off. Definitely wasn't what he wanted to hear in terms of like, hey, you can't be in here. Whatever, dude. Excuse me?
Damn.
I didn't listen to what he was saying because I genuinely thought he was giving me a hard time. He starts going on and on and on, and I'm looking at the menu, and suddenly I hear him go, you put me on blast on Twitter? And now I'm going to put him on blast on YouTube and Spotify. So fuck it. But I hear him say that, and I'm like, oh shit. He's dead serious. And I look at him and I say that. I'm like, oh, you're serious? And he goes, yeah. And I went, all right. Not going to give you a hard time? You don't want me shopping here? And he goes, yep. And I went, okay. And then I chucked up the deuces. And I will say, for that brief moment of me going, are you serious? Yeah. You don't want me in here? Yep. All right. No problem. Adios. That's a really great way to handle it. Chucking up the deuces, I think, really pissed him off. Whether it did or not.
You licked your fingers, put out the wick, and deuced it back to life.
Like, I don't know if it bothered him. I genuinely don't know. I don't talk to him. But I chucked up the deuce, and I was like, all right. Adios. And whenever I said bye when I worked, I would go, bye, boss. And I just instinctively went, adios, boss. And then I realized what I said. I went, shit. See you later. I won't. Okay, bye. And I just walked out. And then I walked home and I walked in the door and I was like, so what do you want to do for breakfast, babe? Because we can't get breakfast there. And Allie was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't think I'm allowed in there. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, he specifically said I wasn't allowed in there. So I don't think I'm allowed in there. And then I told my family, and they were like, why aren't you allowed? And I told them why, and they all agreed. Was the tweet not the best thing to do? Yeah. Should I have been kicked out for it? From a business standpoint, I completely understand why I was kicked out. But what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? If
he says anything, he admits.
If he says anything, he admits there was a conversation that happened.
Yeah.
Which, go for it, dude. I wasn't the one saying shit. Like what are you gonna do?
You're the
Tell
one
me.
saying
You want me to delete the tweet? Fuck it, dude. It's gonna be here. People are gonna see it. Fuck it. People have already seen it. He's seen it. I still don't know how he saw it. But then I told my cousin, and whenever my cousin comes to visit, he loves getting food from there. And I'm like, hey, I got kicked out. And he's like, for how long? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure forever. And I'm like, but when you come to visit, we'll go to the Red Arrow, which he loves the Red Arrow.
Red Arrow's great.
And he goes, no, dude, you could just stay in the car. And I'm like, I'll be honest with you, bro. If we pull up and they see me in the car and he sees you come in and you order more than one thing for you, he's probably going to tell you to get the fuck out of his store. And he's like, really? And I'm like, bro, I really pissed him off. But I love it because then I went to work and I told my coworkers about it. And one of them apparently usually goes there all the time. And when she heard me say it, she went, no. And I went, yeah. And then the next day she went, yeah, my whole family, we threw out all the leftovers we had from there. We're not going there again. And I was just like, hell yeah, bro. The local food war is on.
You're destroying this man's business.
I mean, I'm not going to give myself that much credit.
Well, let me say this. You, within this house, at least 6 customers gone. The place you work at now, another 2, maybe 3. Your family,
my family,
gone.
like 4 or 5 right there.
Like,
yeah. In terms of local
at least 15 people.
In terms of local business, he's doing fine. Which I genuinely, so seeing the tweet and that story makes him sound really bad. He's genuinely, I think, just ignorant.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Especially in this part of the New England area.
But I wish him all the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told Allie this, I am sorry for the way that things fell out. Because I genuinely think I wish him all the best. All the people that work there, I love them all. It was great working with them. They're all like family at this point. We all got along really well. So the way that happened, I'm not exactly happy about it.
Yeah, not too thrilled.
But in terms of like, people are like, I can't go in a bar because I punched a dude in the fucking face. I can't go into a small town cafe because I called the owner out for saying some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Like,
this could be worse.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
2 things I have to talk about that I'm excited about. One, and I'm excited about both. That's what I want to talk about. Criterion and Amazon have announced that Sound of Metal, Time, and One Night in Miami in time will eventually be added to the Criterion collection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hyped for that. It means in my top 10 list, I'm doing something right. That's what's up.
Good.
I'm also going to buy them.
Deserved.
Yeah, I'm going to buy all 3.
One Night in Miami for sure. I love that movie.
Sound of Metal would be the one for me.
Sound of Metal? Oh, wait. I thought you just said One Night in Time. Yeah, Sound of Metal for sure.
Yeah, but I'm excited about all that. The other thing I think is awesome that's happening. We've talked about it on another episode. So China, Hong Kong specifically, has the second largest box office in the world.
Yeah.
Behind the US, ahead of Bollywood.
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron's Avatar is getting a surprise re-release in Hong Kong. If it grosses $7.4 million, it reclaims the throne as the highest grossing movie of all time.
Motherfucker.
That's not motherfucker. That's amazing. And I hope it does. And I hope that people cry about it. And I hope people get mad. And then I hope they sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
No, I just hope this isn't going to start a war of Avengers like squinting and being like, okay, all right, re-release.
No, because eventually a Marvel movie will retake it.
Yeah.
Like, hold on. Let me get the list out of the top 10. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Disney owns 6 of them. Okay?
Yeah, understandable.
So if Avatar, a movie originally put out by Fox, which by the way is now owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to re-release it and it becomes the number one, fuck yeah, cool. Awesome. I love Avatar, so I don't care. I just think it'll be really fun. Like, because then it becomes a thing that I think is cool of, so Avengers Endgame, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was the 22nd movie. So it took you 22 movies to get to number one grossing movie.
Versus Avatar.
Versus Avatar.
First try.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while, because that's the thing about Avatar, because when Avengers was going to take number one, people started doing these rundowns of how long did it take Avatar to do it. And it took it a while.
Yeah.
But it still did it. And it I think what else is cool is Avatar took it from Titanic, which was also made by James Cameron. So then that's cool, because I just like that. I like that Titanic was number one. And then 10 or so years later, James Cameron comes out with this movie. Is it an original movie? Sure, in terms of story. Mm-hmm. Not even in terms of story. In terms of the movie itself, it wasn't a sequel. It wasn't based off of any like graphic novel, book, movie.
It's a new world.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
In terms of story itself, you know, it's Pocahontas meets, you know, fucking How to Train Your Dragon. Who gives a shit? I mean, it was cool though.
We revamped the same stories over and over again.
Yeah, it was heavily inspired by other stories, whatever. But a movie that had no precursor became number one. That's cool.
That is cool. I will say that.
And you want me to be... You don't want me to be excited about that? Possibly retaking the throne?
The fact that it's only 7.4 million, that's in the like grossing department, that's not a lot, and that's not a big margin.
No, it's actually it's like 7.36.
Yeah.
So like it's very feasible.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
I wonder if it would pass because people are like, oh fuck yeah, Avatar, or people would have it surpassed because they're like, why the fuck is Avatar in again? Like, are we gonna go watch? Is it gonna be different? Let's watch it out of curiosity, or would it? I wonder how the responses would be. Is my curiosity. I also Hong Kong really liked Avatar from what I remember.
Everybody liked Avatar.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw it like 6 times.
I saw it twice.
Which is the other thing. Yeah. Which is the other thing that bothers me in the past couple years. Not couple years, but more popularly in the past 5 or so years. People have openly started hating Avatar like they didn't fucking pay to see it in movie theaters like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know how expensive going to the movies is? And you're going to tell me you hated the movie that you paid like 3 or 4 times to see? I know I saw it 6. Like
I will say too, is I miss that hype for a movie.
But you know what I mean? And then it's like, and then it became like, it wasn't that good. It's not that great. It shouldn't be number one. It's like, bro, you saw it 4 times. Let's assume that's 20 times per ticket. $20 per ticket. You saw it 4 times. That's $80 right there. And I know you got popcorn every time. That's over $100.
You're not savvy. You didn't sneak in any food.
Yeah, like
no.
Like, what are you talking about? You didn't like the movie.
I will say, the one thing that hates on Avatar that I think is hilarious is that SNL skit where they're like, they just used papyrus font and they got away with it.
Oh, the Ryan Gosling one when he's like, it's just papyrus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I think that's cool. I hope it happens just because I think it's awesome. And also I want to see what James Cameron will say in a statement. Because so for people that don't know, James Cameron is a bit of an ass.
Yeah, there's a whole South Park episode about it.
Yeah, he is an ass. He is known for being a bit of an asshole, both on set, in how he interacts with people, and also in how he accepts awards and things. Like, by the end of the night, when he was accepting all the Oscars for Titanic, he literally said, I'm king of the world. Literally. Like, and you know what? And I've told my family this, and they all hate that I see it this way. I get it.
I mean, if you're getting praised that much, I mean, you kind of feel like you earned it at that point. You're like, I can just run with it. Man's holding all those awards. Yeah, of course he's going to run with it.
Yeah, and like it's also the idea of like in his filmography, which is a great filmography, he's made Terminator,
Mm-hmm.
Terminator 2,
Mm.
Titanic, Aliens, Avatar. He's made other movies. But with those 5, you're going to look at him and say, humble yourself? 2 of those have held the throne of highest grossing movie of all time. One of them held it for so long that the other one took it down. That's Titanic with Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
You going to tell him to fucking take a breather? Relax? Look at the other guys? Bro. No.
Honestly, after Avatar, he did relax for a while, and then shit got knocked around with his movie being taken off most grossing, and now he's like, okay,
No.
here we go.
No. He didn't relax. He was inventing technology to make the sequel.
Is that real?
Yeah. Oh, did you not know that?
No.
So with Avatar, he wanted to make Avatar immediately after Titanic. Technology wasn't there yet.
So he invented it?
He and some nerds created a company where they could create the technology needed to make Avatar.
He Elon Musked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They make Avatar. And then he's like, okay, I want to make the second one, but I want to do motion capture underwater. Something that's not possible at the time. He took, I don't know, it's been like 12 years. He took like 10 to create the technology. And he's been making all 4 Avatar sequels at the same time.
Because we have the technology.
Because now he has created the technology to do that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's not taking a break. He's just sitting there going, give me a fucking minute, assholes. Like he's in there just like, I'm going to make my money. I've made my money. I'm going to make more. Like, he's killing it. I think he's dope.
10 years after Avatar, it's like, James, what have you been doing? He like turns around, like soot on his face and like a welder in his hand. Like, shut up. You'll see. Give me another 2 years.
So, when Avengers overtook Titanic as the second highest grossing movie of all time, he said, an iceberg sank the real Titanic. It took the Avengers to sink my Titanic. Everyone here at Lightstorm Entertainment salutes your amazing achievement. You've shown that the movie industry is not only alive and well, it's bigger than ever. That was when it took number 2.
Man, there was a little arrogance and a little like humble in there at the same time. That was an impressive statement.
I think that was it. I don't think he has. I thought he said something more arrogant, but I don't think he did.
I thought he said like just for now.
I don't think he did. I thought so too, because I remember there being a statement and me just being like,
I think it might have been a rumor.
oh, you know what it was? He came under fire for saying he hopes that there becomes like a fatigue for Marvel movies because there are other stories to tell.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
Is that Avatar might become the number 1 highest grossing movie again.
And we will see.
And I hope it does.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
Good job, James Cameron.
I did that shit drunk.
I did that shit tired. And hungry. My Euro's been just...
You didn't eat it?
No,
You should have eaten it,
we
bro.
just had to start. We had
You
to
could
start.
have eaten it.
Dude, I'm going to eat it so hard in a second. I'm going to wolf that shit
You gonna
down.
eat it hard?
I'm going to eat it hard. No, I'm going to be like leaned over. Like press.
I've seen that video too.
Of the guy that just
The guy that got out, went in at like in 99, came out in 2021.
He's just like, are you going to
Has
eat that?
no
Just
idea
off
that
his
he's
plate.
being filmed.
Yeah. But this has been the 11th episode of Here's the Thing. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
I'll be probably sober next time, but thanks for listening.
I might be drunk if I get the straw through my mask.